Good morning, my fellow yogic travelers. I'm mighty glad to be alive today, and I hope that you are too, as we continue to live, laugh, love, learn, and linger. And don't forget to live the life we love. Tuesday, so it's a little song ditty. I give her all my love, that's all I do. And if you saw my love, you'd love her too. And I love her. A love like ours could never die, as long as I have you near me. Bright are the stars that shine, dark is the sky. I know that my love, mine, will never die, and I love her. Just a quick one. Thank you, Sir Paul, for giving us those little love songs. All those one-syllable words. You know about the early Beatles song? I love you, that is all I do. Saw my love, bring her to me. That kind of stuff. Anyway, here we go. Disappointing affirmations. We're down to the last few. I hope you guys are going to appreciate this, because then we'll go back to toxic positivity. So what do you say to my friends with disappointing affirmations? This too shall pass. And then some other bullshit will come and take its place. It never fucking ends, does it? All right, for my journal writing friends, what gift do you have that is nowhere else duplicated? You're one of a kind, you're unique. They broke the mold with you. So what do you bring to the party? You let me know how you view your own specialness, and I'll be glad to share how I think of myself that way. But we do it one-to-one, not here over the airwaves, yeah? All right, now my teacher, this is for my young teacher, yoga teacher friends out there. My own teacher always used to say, yoga is not a commercial subject. It's a divine subject. The whole economic search engine that runs the country has nothing to do with yoga. Now, we got to market ourselves, otherwise we can't keep the yogashala open, right? We have no business. But notice that the whole purpose of doing yoga is to experience a connection to the living spirit and not to pad your 401k. Now, as for my friends who are getting older, which is everybody, as Dylan says, he who isn't being born is busy dying. It's always sad for me to see people aging, but not understand, as my rabbi says, aging into saging. I just don't want to accept the honorific title of senior citizen that in some way belies my non-participation in society, in the workplace, in family life, in social and political spheres. No, that's not true. Instead, older people have to be the harbinger of human evolution, showing how you've integrated everything you've gotten from your life experience, and you bring not just street smarts, but the depth of your own intuition from life experience to everything you do. Now, as you get older, and maybe this is true for people all along the way, but the need for connection is uppermost, especially if you're single and alone. Yes, by all means, do whatever you need to do to tend to your regular health in terms of checkups. Keep those silent killers at bay by monitoring your blood pressure, your cholesterol, and stuff like that. But, you got to keep tracking your daily routine and plan for today, next week, next month, maybe even next year, even though at some point you might feel so old that there's very little future you can count on. But until then, you don't want the satisfaction of living to be elusive to you. Then first of all, you have to keep the bullshit detector alive. I call it the trickster that sees through pomposity and narcissistic grandiosity. Because if you don't, you're going to over-idealize other people and project your power onto them. I suggest you don't do that. Now, my Sufi teachers say, first of all, if it isn't fun, don't trust it. That's an interesting one. Homo Ludens, look that up by Jen Huizinga. Because it's sheer joy that expresses itself as, and is demanded by spirit. You want to be spirit's companion? Got to have joy. Doesn't dwell in the house of dejection. And if you have that, the flip side, of course, is you have compassion. You see how people are suffering, and the relationship of interdependence, interconnectedness is so clear. And it's going to test the authenticity of the choices you make. So you can be joyful, but you also have to be empathetic for the people who are not doing as well as you. And you want to reach out and help them in some way. And that's because spirit works through people and not through chance. So it's up to you. Get involved. And then, of course, rather than making a reality out of your own fear and anxiety, if you keep absolutely calm and feel, it'll straighten itself out and put you in a relationship of wellness to yourself, to other people, to the rest of the world. So have faith and conviction. Your own subconscious mind will have a compulsion to succeed if you maintain that positive outlook, because what you're seeking is also seeking you, so be free from any concern about it. And remember, this is the most important thing that you'll ever hear from me or anyone else. There's only a stream of well-being that you either allow or disallow. So take that path to least resistance, which always feels good, and that will give you an ongoing connection with the source of your own existence. Have a great day.